Welcome to this explainer. I'm absolutely thrilled you're joining us today, because honestly, the story we're about to unpack is both medically extraordinary and deeply spiritually profound. We are looking at the life of Premanand Maharaj, the beloved and revered saint of Vrindavan. This is a story that pushes the absolute limits of the human body, shows the staggering power of the human mind, and reveals a paradox of suffering and grace that has captivated millions of people. We're going to explore exactly how a man navigates unimaginable, daily physical hardship without losing a single step of his mission. Section 1. The Wish That Stopped Everyone, a Jarring Medical Refusal. Okay, let's dive into this, because we are starting with a situation that has literally shocked millions of followers. Maharaj is dealing with an incredibly severe illness, one that dictates every single day of his life. And yet, his approach to this devastating clinical reality is just so entirely removed from what we expect in modern medicine, it stops you right in your tracks. His most famous, and definitely most jarring, statement is simply this: "I wish my kidneys fail in every lifetime." I mean, on the surface, that sounds completely backwards, right? Here's a man whose kidneys have completely failed, who relies on rigorous daily medical intervention just to stay alive, openly declaring he would choose this exact same painful fate over and over again. Which brings us directly to the central paradox of our explainer. Why in the world would someone actively refuse a cure to prolonged suffering? Human instinct, medical science, practically everything we're taught is all about alleviating pain, fixing what's broken, and extending a healthy life. Yet, when offered a way out of his suffering, he politely but firmly says no. Let's look at exactly why that is. So here is how we'll unravel this mystery together today. 1. The wish that stopped everyone. 2. Who is Premanand Maharaj? 3. The 20-year health battle. 4. Refusing the kidney donations. 5. What this story teaches. And finally, 6. Enduring lessons and takeaways. Section 2. Who is Premanand Maharaj, the rise of Vrindavan's beloved saint? Before we can truly understand his medical choices, we kind of need some essential context on the man who was born as Anirudh Kumar Pandey. His journey is defined by fierce, uncompromising discipline right from the start. Get this. At just 13 years old, driven by these deep existential questions, he left his family home in Kanpur at 3 a.m. He spent his early years as an ascetic, meditating on the banks of the Ganges in Varanasi, taking on severe austerities, fasting, bathing in the freezing river. Eventually, drawn by divine inspiration, his path led him to Vrindavan, where he transitioned into the Radha Vallabhi tradition, becoming the globally beloved figure he is today at his ashram. And you really get a sense of his modern-day influence when you look at the diverse, incredibly high-profile people who travel just to seek his counsel. You've got Indian cricket superstar Virat Kohli and his wife Anushka Sharma visiting for spiritual grounding. Bageshwar Dham's Dhirendra Shastri visited, remarking that Maharaj's life is a divine play, a leela, which just brought out a gentle laugh from Premanand. You have RSS chief Mohan Bhagwat and even popular figures like Elva Shadov, where Maharaj openly discussed his kidney failure. His influence spans literally all sections of society, and yet he treats his celebrity devotees no differently than anyone else. His focus on his mission is absolute. Section 3. The 20-year health battle, a life strictly measured by dialysis. So let's pivot from his massive spiritual influence to the grim, unavoidable clinical reality he wakes up to every single day. Because behind that peaceful smile is a relentless medical struggle. He suffers from ADPKD, or autosomal dominant polycystic kidney disease. This is a genetic disorder where clusters of fluid-filled cysts actually grow inside the kidneys. Over time, these cysts multiply, they get larger, and they literally replace the healthy tissue until both organs completely fail. This isn't a condition you bounce back from. It progresses. It brings severe, visible symptoms like facial swelling, extreme blood pressure, and total kidney failure. Which brings us to this absolutely staggering number, 20. For nearly 2 decades, Premanand Maharaj has survived without functioning kidneys. He relies entirely on long, grueling, 5-hour dialysis sessions multiple times a week just to filter his blood. Any medical expert will tell you that surviving 20 years on dialysis is remarkably rare. It requires a level of consistency, strict fluid control, and dietary restriction that most of us just can't fathom. And this brilliantly illustrates the core of his entire existence. Look at the contrast here. On one side, his physical reality, total organ failure, exhausting dialysis, severe daily fatigue. But on the other side, his mental reality, a calm temperament, unflinching discipline, and this unshakable inner rhythm. He doesn't deny his illness, not at all, but he absolutely refuses to let it dictate his emotional state. He built his life around the medical necessity instead of treating it like it's ruining his life. Section 4. Refusing the kidney donations. Compassion over a cure. So naturally, you might be wondering, if his kidneys have failed, why not just get a transplant? Well, this is where the story shifts from medical survival to profound, unyielding ethical boundaries. Multiple people have stepped forward to literally save his life, and he's rejected every single offer. We see these heartfelt gestures from totally different backgrounds. Devotee Ramesh Chandra Shukla offered his kidney, pleading that society desperately needs Maharaj's guidance. Bollywood actor Jaz Khan made a similar, very public offer. Yet Premanand Maharaj consistently says no. Why? Mainly out of deep, deep compassion. He refuses to let another human being undergo surgery, pain, or risk their own health just to fix his suffering. Plus, he maintains this fierce spiritual conviction to leave his body exactly as the divine gave it to him. He chooses the brutally hard path of dialysis over a medically superior cure because of those principles. Now, what's really interesting about this perspective is this profound quote, "What I gained from kidney failure did not come through spiritual practice." Think about that for a second. It completely flips our standard everyday view of disease. We see illness as the enemy, an obstacle to overcome. But he views his total kidney failure as an unparalleled teacher. He actually credits his physical deterioration with accelerating his inner growth, giving him a depth of realization that even decades of severe meditation couldn't achieve. Section 5. What this story teaches. Working within limitations. You see, spiritual resilience doesn't mean you're somehow immune to pain. It means you figure out how to practically navigate your daily life without constantly fighting against your physical realities. When followers express this deep, agonizing concern over his physical decline, his response is just calm and absolute. My kidneys cannot defeat me. What a powerful declaration of identity. His body is failing for sure, but his spirit, his purpose, his mission, completely untouched. He embraces the pain, works right inside its parameters, and just keeps guiding millions. But we have to be real here. Mental strength doesn't magically erase physical limitations. For instance, the announcement that starting May 20th, 2026, his famous daily 3 a.m. Padayatra, that spiritual walk where thousands would gather just to catch a glimpse of him, is postponed indefinitely due to worsening health. He acknowledges his limits. When the body finally says no, he adapts. The rhythm of his life might slow down, but his ultimate direction, that remains exactly the same. Section 6. Enduring lessons and takeaways. The mirror of personal resilience. So the crucial point is, as we wrap up this explainer, it's time to turn the mirror from this esoteric saint in Vrindavan directly onto us. What can we actually use from this? Let's look at these lessons. Discipline is an ultimate survival skill. It's literally what's keeping him alive on dialysis for 20 years. Compassion sometimes demands extreme personal restraint, like saying no to a life-saving kidney to protect the donor. Purpose and routine matter just as much as the medical treatments to keep your mind steady. And finally, hardship and physical limits can actually accelerate your inner growth if we stop fighting them and start letting them teach us. Even if we don't face his exact struggles, the tools he uses, discipline, acceptance, and compassion, they're available to all of us. I want to leave you with this one provocative thought. Seeing how Premanand Maharaj navigates total kidney failure with grace, gratitude, and an unwavering smile, how do you view the quote-unquote inconveniences and sufferings in your own life? Are they obstacles or are they teachers? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer today. Keep learning, keep reflecting, and I'll see you next time.